All right, welcome back. Last time, we witnessed the birth of an incredible idea, two AIs locked in a head-to-head competition. Well, today, we're going inside that machine. We're going to see exactly how that rivalry sparks a kind of digital imagination. So let's dive right into the duel.
You know, this one sentence really is the key to everything. At the very heart of every single GAN, there's this fundamental conflict, right? A constant, relentless back and forth between two competing minds. And it's that tension, that very struggle, that unlocks what we can only call artificial imagination.
So let's properly meet the two players at the center of this story. We've got two neural networks, and they're locked in this incredible battle where, get this, the only way to win is to make your opponent stronger. Okay, so on one side, you have the generator. Just think of it as the artist, or maybe even a master forger. Its entire reason for being is to create fakes so convincing, they're just indistinguishable from the real thing. And on the other side, that's the discriminator, the critic, the expert detective whose only job is to sniff out every single one of those forgeries. I mean, this setup, it's the perfect engine for improvement.
But how do these two AIs actually learn from each other? I mean, it's not just a fight, right? It's more like a conversation, a never-ending loop where every single failure becomes a crucial lesson.
So here's how the loop works. First, the generator just creates something out of what's basically static noise. Second, the discriminator judges that creation against real examples. Third, it sends back a simple verdict, real or fake. And right here, this is where the magic happens. Both networks immediately update their strategies based on that one little piece of feedback. The artist learns to paint better, and the critic develops a sharper eye. And they just repeat the cycle. We're talking millions of times, getting smarter and smarter with every single round.
So you're probably asking, okay, if the generator is creating these images literally from scratch, where do its ideas even come from? It's not just copying photos, no. It's pulling its inspiration from this really fascinating, totally abstract place. And that place is called the latent space. Now, it's not a physical space. You can't go there. It's conceptual. Think of it as the GAN's own internal world of ideas, like a giant, complex map of all the features and styles it's learned from looking at real data. Seriously, just try to imagine a landscape of ideas. In this space, maybe moving a little bit north makes a face smile, and moving a little bit east adds glasses. Every single point in this vast, invisible landscape is a totally unique recipe for a brand new creation. And the thing you've got to get is that the GAN isn't just memorizing pictures. It's learning this incredibly compressed numerical map of characteristics. It learns the idea of a face, or the essence of a landscape, by understanding the deep relationships between all these different features. And this is probably the best analogy for it. It's like an artist's subconscious studio. The generator can just navigate this space, pick out abstract concepts, and start blending them together. It can start at a point that represents a neutral face, then just nudge itself slightly in the smile direction to create a smiling face, all without ever having seen that exact image before. It's incredible. Okay, so we've got two AIs in a duel, and they're learning from this crazy imagination space. But how do they keep score? How does an AI even know if it's winning or losing in any given round? Well, it all comes down to the rules of the game. The score is kept using something called a loss function. The best way to think of it is as an art critic's scorecard. It's basically just a mathematical way of grading each AI's performance, telling it precisely how wrong it was, which is exactly the information it needs to get better. And here's that constant push and pull. For the generator, a low score, or what we call low loss, that's a huge victory. It means its fake was so good it completely fooled the critic. But for the discriminator, a low score means it was right. It successfully spotted the fake. They have completely opposite goals, and it's this relentless tension that forces them both towards something approaching perfection. But, this delicate dance can so easily fall apart. This whole duel is a balancing act, and if one side gets too powerful, or honestly just too lazy, the entire learning process can break down in some pretty interesting ways. This is such a brilliant way to understand one of the classic problems with GANs, something called mode collapse. The generator finds one simple little trick that seems to fool the discriminator, and it just does that one thing over and over and over again. It completely stops learning anything new. So you end up with mode collapse, where the artist just paints the exact same picture forever because, hey, the critic keeps approving it.
Or you get instability. That's where the critic becomes so good, so powerful, that the artist just gets discouraged and pretty much stops trying to learn at all. The feedback loop just breaks. Keeping this duel fair and productive, that's one of the biggest challenges in this whole field.
But despite all these challenges, when it works, oh man, when it works, this process is nothing short of revolutionary. You see, the conflict isn't a bug, it's the core feature. It is the engine that drives a whole new kind of creativity.
And that's really the heart of it all. This isn't just about crunching numbers or processing data. GANs are a system literally designed to turn struggle directly into creative, novel output.
And the results, they really speak for themselves. This whole adversarial process has become a total game changer across countless fields, from generating photorealistic art and designing new products to even helping create better medical images in science. The things they create can be astonishingly real.
So, what this all comes down to is that the secret to a GAN's imagination isn't found in some single brilliant algorithm. No, it's found in the tension. It's in the rivalry itself. It's through this constant, structured struggle that the AI learns not just to copy reality, but to actually dream it up.
Which really just leaves us with a fascinating question to chew on. This entire process is about two opponents making each other better. It really makes you wonder, right? What else becomes possible when competition isn't about one side winning, but about the game itself reaching a whole new level?